Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is having a good day intraday trading, and you had a great day yesterday. So let's start off with what I was watching today in the market. So the past 2 days we've been selling off, but the 50 moving average on the SPY has been serving at a strong resistance. I got bought back up here, got bought back here, and then we did bounce from 443 today, and so we are making our way up to see if we close above this candle or potentially engulf it at the end of the day. So this is a good sign for the SPY, knowing that this 50 moving averages are still strong buyers down here. So that's good for the SPY for long-term investors, right? So on the 5 minute actually we dipped down in the morning, and then but we did reclaim back this range, and then now we're moving. Got some chop in the morning, and now we're moving higher, so that's good. Same thing for the Qs. So the Qs on the daily chart, we did move lower here to below. Actually, we moved below 374 previous day low, and now we're making our way higher, just like the SPY. On the 5 minute chart, actually, I think the Qs actually sold off a little more than the SPY, but eventually we recover, and now we're making our way up, just like the Qs. So that's a good sign. Although volume is a little low on the daily chart on both the SPY and the Qs. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of this is I think this is one of the longest bull runs we seen in the market. So you never know if we're actually gonna make new highs after this. Um, so just there was a good place to add for long-term investors, right? Same thing as the Qs. But anyways, I'm not a long-term investor. I'm just a day trader. So let's take a look at what I traded today. By the way, I only look at the market to gauge what the market is doing overall. Just for my intraday stocks that I trade, most of them they follow the SPY or the Qs, right? So I just want to see the over market direction. Um, but that's it. So let's move on to my watch list. So today I was watching Apple, AMC, Ken, Win, Microsoft, Tesla, Baba, Nvidia, and Gree. But I didn't trade this one. This is too dangerous. I think it's in a recent IPO. You see, it only has one day of trade being traded. So this thing actually dropped in the morning. It was moving a lot, so I just didn't even bother to touch this. I always get slaughtered in this kind of stock, so I didn't even bother to touch it. I had Nvidia, but Nvidia has been consolidating here, so I thought if we break below previous day close, we might flush all the way down, but I didn't even touch this either. Baba, Baba, if it dropped at the open, but there was no opportunity until like about 11:25. But Baba is so choppy. You see, this is a lot of gaps in between. I just usually don't trade that stock. I just have it on watch sometimes. And of course, Tesla, the 3 days ago we got bought up strongly, and now we're making our way above 750. But I didn't. There was no opportunity to trade this actually at the open. You see, it was all chop until now, until this big burst here. But I didn't even try to trade it. Microsoft had some news that they're buying back shares, and they increased their dividends to 62 cents. So it was gapped up in the morning, but I don't really trade Microsoft just because of this, right? It's choppy sometimes. Sometimes it trades well, sometimes it doesn't, but I just didn't touch this either. But I did have it on my watch list. When, of course, they came out saying that they're having some issues, some I forgot what the news were, but anyways, it was gapped down. It was a huge gap from yesterday, so I just didn't touch this because whenever I see these big gaps, usually you expect some chop here, as you know, most of the move has been done during the gap. There's no really opportunity to get in when the market opens. So I did have Can because they reported earnings this morning, but this is a stock below $10, so I don't really play this kind of stocks. And as you see, like it's kind of choppy. There's no really opportunity here, and the reward is really small, so I just don't trade those kind of stocks. And I had AMC. This is what I traded today. AMC actually looked good. We did put in a topping candle right here, and we sold off yesterday. And so I was just headed on my watch list for a continuation play from the previous day, and it did give us that. So, all right, and of course, Apple has been selling off as well. Um, it has been selling off like the past week, and after this big move, probably looks like it's consolidating a bit. And I just had it on my watch list because actually this level right here is a really important level. This one right here around 145, and this one right here 148.82. I was mostly looking this for a long, but it didn't give me the opportunity, so I just didn't even trade this stock. Um, all right, so oh, by the way, I added this new study here in my chart called pivot points, Camarilla pivot points, and credits to the Bear Bull traders. I actually watched their channel a lot, and one of their moderators came out. I saw a video that he posted explaining, about this Camarilla pivot points, and I thought I'd give it a try, and it's actually pretty useful. That's how I traded AMC today, and it came out as a good trade. So, I want to thank those guys. I watch their channel a lot, so I've learned a lot from them. So AMC, this is what I traded today. So I actually recorded myself, so I'm gonna play the recording for you guys, and I'll go over my thought process and what happened. So, so the market open here. So I'm gonna just forward this to my trade. So yeah, right here, right? AMC. All right, so we had this big drop at the open, and we did fall below this opening range and below VWAP. So all I wanted to see now was some consolidation here on the 2 minute. This candle on the 1 minute was an ABC pattern, and it rejected the VWAP, right? So as this candle came back above VWAP, I went in partial here with a stop below 45.90, just in case this thing just squeezed and I was going to stop out, and I only added 500 shares to be safe. My thought process was if it breaks 45.50, then I was going to add full position here, 500 shares. So in total was going to be 600 shares. This stock doesn't move a lot except when it squeezes, so you just have to have some tight risk. All right, so my entry was actually late. My platform was freezing, and it just kind of like I missed the entry of 450. So you see that? Yeah, it was a late ad, and so I just went in late. But now after this point, my stop loss was tighter, about 45.70 in case I needed to get out. So so I let this trade play out. Actually, I got a pretty good um, profit on this trade. Um, So I see it does come back to 45.50, but it doesn't even go above it. The bids um, don't go above it. So so I kept watching 45.50s to see if it broke. If it broke, I was gonna get out because that seems to be pretty important. That was also a half number. So most people look at these levels for as they are psychological levels. So after this candle close, I got a really nice flush to the downside. Um, Here my platform starts freezing. Sucks. So so here I think I added 250 shares more once it broke this. Well, I think I was trying to add, but then I missed the add process, so I just didn't add anything. So instead, I was starting to cover. So I did cover here, right here. But I should have put an order here to cover. Instead, I cover as a market order, and I cover a little bit higher as it just came back, and then it pulled back real quick. So let me fast forward this. So so here, so this was the whole trade. Took some profits out of right at pre-market low, and then let some ride of below 45. Took some below 45, and then I was trying to take some below 45.75, but it was struggling, so I ended up getting out completely. The stock this came back down a lot to 44, but you'll never really time a bottom or anything, so I just took my profits and stayed put until I found another good trade. So actually, my next trade was on on AMC as well. So here I see it came down to 44, and then I took a look at the SPY, and the SPY actually was putting a bottoming candle, and the Qs as well. So I went in here right below 44 with 100 shares, and I add 500 shares once it broke 44. Um, so plus it was below S4, uh, which is a support zone. So it was too overextended to the downside. So I just went into the trade in case we had a bounce with a tight stop loss below 43.88. As you'll see, it comes down to my stop loss, and I end up getting stopped out for like $100 loss. So it wasn't that bad. So here I end up getting stopped out. So I was going against the trend, so I didn't want to get caught on a flush down lower. So I just took my loss. It wasn't much, so it was only $100. I can always recover from that. So I was happy with this trade. I took my loss and I didn't hold in case it flushed lower. Although it didn't, the right thing to do was to get out in case it did. But as you see here, the SPY was coming back up. All right, and the Qs as well were putting a bottoming, and it was at this previous day low. So on that trade, I lost $112, but I had made 196 from my previous trade. So all right, so here you'll see it comes back. My thought process was okay. Well, now I like this candle. Came back down, got bought back up, so I re-added again 250 shares, and I was gonna add more for the break of 44. So I was in 750 shares, but I had a stop loss right below 44. If it broke 44 and came back for 43.88, I was gonna stop out. So, so, but it seems like buyers were stepping up here. So I was just watching to see if it break the high of this candle, and it did, and that gave me more confidence to stay in the trade. I took profits as soon as he gave me a 25-cent move. All right, so then I was expecting to for the stock to go all the way to 44.50, but I wasn't patient enough because I was still skeptical that I was going against the trend and it could reverse even though it was overextended to the downside. So just having that in mind, I just took more profits out as soon as it broke above 44.25. So so I did had a break even point around below 44 in case it did flush below. I didn't want to end up in a red trade. So as soon as it broke 44.25, I ended up taking more shares out. And I was hoping it would go, it did go above 44.38 and close to 44.50. And I did get out almost close to here. So, so let me off. There you go. So I ended up getting all out right here. Just I didn't want to stay in the trade. It was close to the 9 EMA, close to S4. I didn't want to get caught in a flush lower below 44. So I just took everything out. I got a pretty good trade, so I wasn't upset. So although the stock kept going up, I wasn't mad. I had already made my profit. So that's that. So if you see AMC after I got out, it came above S4 at the VWAP and pre-market low, sorry, but I was okay with my profit here, and I was going against the trend. I wasn't gonna risk getting stuck and then end up getting caught in a flush lower. So and after this, I just called it a day. I was up $300, I think. So I wasn't gonna get greedy. 306, that's good enough for me. So I made 109 long. Um, I could have made like $200, but I lost my first trade and got back in. That's when I made 109 plus what I had lost 100, so I made like 200 something bucks. And then on my first trade short, I made almost $200. So 306 for the day, and I'm happy with that. So that's it, guys. So reviewing my trade now. I think this was overall that was a good trade. My first trade was pretty good. Um, Here, as I saw this big drop, it felt to go higher, and the market was dropping. I just wanted to wait for some consolidation. I love this kind of setup. On the 1 minute, it was an ABCD pattern added close to V with a stop loss above here in case it did go, it squeezed me out. I was going to get stopped out and added here for the break lower. Took profits at pre-market low and below 45. And that was it for this first trade. Then I saw that we're below S4 and I added here to go long, but my stop loss was below 43.88 and it came back down. I got stopped out in case it flushed lower. So that was a good call from my end to manage risk. And then as I saw it, it held this wick and came back above 43.88. I went in again 100 shares, then I added no 250 shares, then I added 500 shares. So it was in 750 shares and took profits close to the high of this previous range here. And then I was trying to take profits all the way to S4, but I wasn't patient enough, so I just ended up getting all out here. Although it went up, I didn't get FOMO and I just stopped trading for today. So 3 trades today, 2 winners, 1 loser. So I was happy for my performance today, but I do need to start paying attention more to the volume. I need to read more on volume and thinking of the side of bears and bulls, of buyers and sellers to see, get in their shoes or what they're doing. I need to work more on that. But overall, I think I did a good job. I was looking at the level 2 and the tape and the time and sell. So that's it for today, guys. I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.